If you've been on the internet for a while, you've probably heard of the term rats. Well, what is a rat? Now, this may be hard to believe, but it isn't actually a physical rat. In fact, rat stands for Remote Access Trojan. Back to another SC Programs video, guys, but today I'm going to be showing you how to make your first rat in Python. Alrighty guys, so to get started, you're going to want to do some imports. Now you're going to want to import the following: socket, threading, OS, colorama, and C types. Socket is for communication. It's what we're going to use to communicate with our client. Threading is so we can multi-thread. So when we have multiple clients connecting to us, we don't just have to do things one at a time. Like, you need threading basically. OS is just so we can access some local OS functions. Colorama, make our interface look a little pretty. And then C types is for communicating with the Win32 library. So after we do that, we want to make an array. Okay, so this is how we make our array. This is basically just going to store all the IPs of the clients connecting. This is important because it's, some things you don't want to make all your clients do, If a rat is infecting someone, you might not want to do also, get the IP of everyone. You might just want to get the IP of one person. So after we do that, we're going to make a function to render our cool hacker logo in our terminal. Alrighty, so this is my logo, right? SC rat. Now it looks a little bit distorted. That's because I have 4.green, 4.magenta, and 4.reset, just for making it colorful. And in fact, the way you get a 3D logo like this is simply by, so to get a 3D text logo like that, all you want to do is just go to this website. It's got a whole bunch of fonts, so I did SC rat in this case. Just copy and paste this, and then you just want to print it out like this. And then add the colors. As you can see, that's the logo. Okay, so after we've done this, you want to make a new function. This is going to be called handle client, and basically this is just going to manage the clients, right? So you want the client socket and the address. Okay, you're then going to want to make this array call, which is getting the address. So we're looking for the address of the client in the client's array. Alright, so what this next line does is when a client joins, it updates the window title, right? So this is my pretty cool title, and all this is doing is just showing the number of clients connected. So every time a new person connects to the server, this will increment up by 1. So one client will just say 1, etc. We then want to make this while true loop. Now what this while true loop does is it basically tries to get the response from the client, right? So whenever we make a connection or we do something with a client, we want to get a response. If we don't get a response, it's going to break. If we do, it's going to output a response, right? So basically a function we're going to make in a couple minutes is get IP. So here it would output the IP from the client and we call that. Alright, then we want to add these lines. So basically what this is doing is if we ever break out of the loop, it's because the client is disconnected. And we want to send an alert to the terminal that the client has disconnected from us. So we're going to print this line out, and then we're going to do clients_socket.close, and we're going to delete it from the array. Pretty cool. All this is doing is just closing the connection we have with them. Alright, so after we made the handle clients function, we want to make a function to accept the clients. So whenever they try and join, we accept them. And to do that, it's simple. All you want to do is make the function, pass through the server parameter, and then while true, server.accept, and then we're going to make a new thread specifically for this client, right? And that's simply because if we sent a request, right, we wouldn't hear a response from any of them until all of them were done. So how threading works is, for instance, if we have multiple clients, we'll hear a response from them whenever they're done. We won't have to wait for all of them to be done. After that, we're going to make a new function, and it's going to be to start the server. Now the host and port are going to be your IP, and port, if you've port forwarded, I wouldn't recommend using this in any professional sense. This is purely for educational purposes. For demonstration, leave it as this, because this is what you're going to use to test on your local network. But yeah, these are just setting the default ones, so if we don't change them later in our main function, then it'll just default to running on the local network. Alright, next we're going to write these lines. So server socket.socket is basically starting the server, and then we're binding it, and then we're going to listen, right? And then that basically means we're waiting for a connection to our server. After that, we want to do these lines. Now this line basically is just a thread to accept new clients once we get them, whereas this thread is just handling that client. It's weird because of their different functions. It's a bit confusing to remember, but basically this is threading this function, this is threading this function, but you don't need to worry about that. All you need to do is skid. Anyway, after that, we want to clear the screen. Now if you're on Mac or Linux, you just want to do clear instead of CLS. I don't know why I put all there, but anyway, so we're going to clear the screen, and then we're going to print our logo, and then we're also going to let the user know that we're waiting for clients to connect. Pretty cool. you could, I don't know, do something cool with that, like 4 dot, oh, F string that, 4 dot, and that will just make the question mark yellow, so it looks nice and pretty for you guys. After that, we're going to start a while true loop, and basically we're going to do while true if not clients continue. So that means if we don't have clients, it's going to go back up here, and it's just going to wait and wait and wait until we get a client. Basically, then we want to do this, so we're going to print connected clients, and then we're going to list through all our clients that have connected, so show the IP of them, you know, and it's going to add an index, so it's going to be like 1 for blah, for like 1 dot blah blah blah, 2 for 1 dot blah blah blah, you know, IP address. Pretty cool. Basically this continue here is important though, because if we don't have a client and we don't have the continue here, it will just go to this and it will just fuck with the whole program. So make sure you have that. All right, so after that we're going to do this try and accept statement. So we're going to ask for a choice. So either they can do 1 to like however many to select a certain IP or a certain client to do a command to, or they can press 0 and it'll broadcast it to everyone. So for instance, you know, if you want to get the IPs of everyone, you could do 0, or you know, you wanted to, I don't know, change the background wallpaper of everyone, you could do 0, or if you only wanted to do it to number 3, then you just do 3. It'll make more sense later. All right, then basically we're just doing if they chose to broadcast a command, we're getting all the clients in our clients array up here, and we're sending them that command. Otherwise, what we're doing is we're getting the specific number in the array, and we're sending that person the specific the command specifically, right? Then else it just prints you made an invalid selection, right? Then after we do all that, you just want to do your main function. I'm going to start the server. Now obviously if you had port forwarded and say you're hosting this on a VPS or an RDP, you know, and you had port forwarded so other people in like the homes could connect, you'd change this to your IP and your port. But because we're running locally, we're just going to leave it as blank. Okay, now you want to come to your client file. This is the file people are going to run on their computer, right? The infected file, if you will. And we're going to want to do some imports. So these are the imports we're going to do. We're going to do socket to communicate with our server. Sub process, so this basically just means that we can run terminal commands in here. Request, because we're going to use some external APIs. And C type, so we can access Win32 functions. Pretty cool. Alright, after that we want to define some variables. We want to define user32, kernel32, and hwid. So user32 is just defining this, so the user functions in the Win32 library, the kernel functions in the Win32 library, and basically hwid is a handle to a window, so we're just getting a handle to our console window. Alright, so after that we're going to make a function called start client, and basically this is just going to do as it says, starts the client. So for this to work, we need the server IP and the server port. Now, with this, what we're going to do is basically just connect using client. Using socket, we define client as a socket connection, basically. So we pass through the connection we want to make, and then we tell it to make the connection to our server IP and server port. Okay, we then want to start our while true loop, and we're going to define command. Basically, this is client.receive.decode, so it's decoding the encoded message, and then it's checking to what it is. So if it equals exit, we're just going to break and close the program, right? Pretty cool. Okay, now this is an if statement. So if the person in the server types get IP, we're going to send a request to this website, because that gets my IP and returns in a JSON format. Reading is JSON, reading the IP. And then once we've read the IP, our output, what we want to do is we want to encode it and we want to send it back to the server so it prints out down here for the person on the server. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is we can put this up here if you want for debugging purposes. I mean, this is an actual rat. I probably recommend hiding the console window so it doesn't pop up, but this is just going to print the command we receive on the client from the server. Okay, we're then going to make a try and accept statement, and basically using sub process, we're going to run terminal commands or CMD, command prompt commands, right? So from here we could do things like IP config, you know, ping someone, all sorts of things. So it's going to try to do that. If it can't, it's going to get the error, it's going to save the error, and what we're going to do is we're going to send it. Okay, so to send it back, you just want to do this line. It's going to encode the output or whatever it is and send it back. and client.close. So if we break out of this loop, i.e. they send us exit, we're just going to close the connection. Okay, so we then want to make our main function, and we're going to do it like so. So we're going to define the server IP and the server port. Now, because I'm doing localhost, this is my local IP, and this is just the port I'm running it on. Now, as I commented here, you will need to change this if you are running this on like an RDP and you have a specific IP, like this would be your external IP, and this would be whatever port you forwarded. But yeah, so now we can actually test this. Okay, so now that we have our client and server, what you want to do is you want to run the server first. And as you can see, I see rat waiting for clients to connect. And when we run a client, and we look back here, you can see the title updated, and it also now says connected clients. And we can now send commands to the client. So if I do echo test, oh, sorry, I got to select the client, so we can either do 1 or 0 because we only have one client. So we echo test. As you can see, the output for this command is test. Pretty cool. So I'll just press 0. Sometimes it does get a bit messy, but yeah. What if we do get IP? So I want to get the IP of this person. As you can see, it got the IP of that client. And that's the client that connected, right? Pretty cool. Obviously, because it's a localhost connection, yeah, it's all going to show 127. etc. But yeah, this is my real public IP. As you can see, this is my real public IP. You know, there you go. I am on a VPN, so suck dick, don't try and boot me off. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the rat, you know. If we run another client, I'll just show you. See, it updated to 2 up there. We got to press enter again to get the full list. But as you can see now, we have 2 clients. So if I go to number 2 and say, hey, obviously it says hey isn't a batch file command, but this one got it and this one didn't. Whereas if I do 0 type hey, this is your test, see, they both got it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like this video, subscribe, and join my Discord for the source code. Anyway, have a good one.